Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Someone Saved My Life Tonight. This is a channel dedicated to the music of Elton John. Now I've been working through Elton John's studio albums and reviewing them one by one, rating every track, but I keep getting distracted by other things. And the latest thing I did was to give my comments on Elton John's last set list he played before the lockdown. So this was part of the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour. I also gave my kind of fantasy set list, the 25 songs I wanted him to play at the final concert. And of course, there was quite a difference between the two. I asked you, the viewers, to send in your comments and suggestions, and I've been overwhelmed really with the reaction, so much so that I'm going to try and fit it into this video. Maybe it might spill over to a second video. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. I'd just like to thank everybody who responded. Some people have sent in a full list of 25 songs each. So I'm going to look at some of these, and I've got to say there's some fantastic suggestions, including one track that I've never heard before and I've been listening to today, and I'm really grateful for that suggestion. So let's get started. So the first shout out is to Ellie Menzel, who has sent in a full list of tracks she would like to see Elton singing at his farewell concert. And I have to say, the fans have really been looking for those deep cuts, those songs that perhaps Elton doesn't sing very often, but we would really like him to sing. So not many people are going for kind of the Benny and the Jets Saturday Night's All Right sort of list, which Elton probably will sing because he'll probably do greatest hits. But let's have a look at Ellie's list to see what we think. So displayed here on my very high-tech laser display screen, we can see that she's starting off with Have Mercy on the Criminal. Well, that's a fantastic dramatic song, so I'm very happy with that beginning. And she's following it up by the Ballad of Danny Bailey from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, another dramatic story song. Too Low for Zero is an interesting one. Now, Too Low for Zero is a song, of course, from the album with the same title. Elton hasn't performed this much recently. I remember watching a video of him performing it at Wembley Stadium. This song actually grows on me. In fact, I was listening to it today from the Jewel Box album, which I'm working through. I don't possess it, I'm afraid, but I'm building up to forking out the money for this because I'd love to get that collection. But that track is warming on me, and it's got a fantastic piano solo in the middle of it, hasn't it? So I think that's a really good choice, Ellie. Now, her number 4 choice is a real off-the-wall, sort of left-field choice. It's Two Rooms at the End of the World. And again, I had to look this one up because I haven't yet reviewed 21 at 33, so I've kind of forgotten a little bit about this song. It's not bad at all and would be an interesting choice for Elton to play live. Of course, he used that idea of 2 rooms for a whole album when he had some other artists copying, doing cover versions of some of his songs. Perhaps not to great success in that, but I will be coming to that album at some stage to review it. Where did she go after that? Well, Legal Boys, what a great track. My favourite track from the Jump Off album. And then she goes with My Quicksand. Now, My Quicksand was actually my least favourite track from the Diving Board, but several of you have mentioned that, so I think that's quite an interesting choice. It seems to be a popular track among Elton fans. So where does she go next? Well, Cry to Heaven from Ice on Fire, very dramatic song there. And then she's going to Blue Avenue. This is from Sleeping with the Past. Quite a moody section here she's gone for, but I enjoy these ballads together. And then an absolutely lovely song, First Episode at Hyenton from the Elton John album. I'm really looking forward to going back and listening to this one actually when I review that album. Someone Saved My Life Tonight. Yep, okay. You've got to put 1 or 2 standards in there. The North, that's from The One. Not a especially favourite track of mine, but I can see why she might have put in there. Now then, look at this next one, Hymn 2000. Now, who watching can tell me anything about this song? Again, I had to look this one up because Hymn 2000 is from Empty Sky. Now, I don't even possess this album because the one I got it was a vinyl album that was warped, so I had to take it back, and I still can't get it on CD. But obviously, as a completist, I want to have this album. I listened to it again. It's very much of its time. I mean, this is early, early Elton. But what a great choice, Ellie, to put this in. Really early stuff and really late material as well. So that's an inspired choice. I'm not sure whether you're having an interval or not, or whether you're carrying on. But Eddie has next. This song has no title. Well, we know that that's a great song. Followed by Ticking, which is from Caribou. Now, Caribou is going to be the next album I'm going to review. So I will give my opinion about Ticking at that stage, but a little bit similar to Danny Bailey, maybe that sort of story song, which is pretty good. Now, for track 15, she goes with Shoot Down the Moon, a Bond type theme song, that from Ice on Fire. And then the last song, combined with Someone's Final Song. Just a word about these two. Someone's Final Song was from Blue Moves, a jazzy sort of tribute to a sort of mystical figure who may or may not have existed. And the last song is, of course, Elton's really powerful, beautiful ballad about somebody being reunited with their father. It's a very moving song, that one of Elton's most beautiful harmonies and melodies, I think, on that. Now I had to look up the next one, track 18, because she's chosen Honey Roll. Now, deep cuts don't get much deeper than this, because do you know what this is from? This is from the Friends soundtrack, which I will be reviewing at some stage. Again, this is a lovely soundtrack that Elton did. The film itself sank without trace, but the music lives on. And I actually chose Michelle's song from the Friends soundtrack to put on my sort of fantasy collection. So again, a great choice there, Ellie. She then goes with Cold, which is a pretty good song. Heavy Traffic from Red Strikes Back. Quirky choice there, quite like that track. And then We All Fall in Love Sometimes and Curtains from Captain Fantastic. Of course, that's going to work really well. Now, how is she ending her concert? She's got 2 more tracks before the encore. I Can't Keep This From You, which is a decent track from Peachtree Road. Peachtree Road. Not a predictable track, not a predictable choice, but I like your thinking there. And then Mansfield, which is from Songs from the West Coast. And that's kind of about the idea of songwriting. So we're perhaps getting a little bit of a autobiographical influence in this. For her encore, she's putting in Your Song. Yeah, we can expect that to be there. And her last track, can you guess? Well, it's The Captain and the Kid. Now, this is an interesting song because it name checks Tumbleweed Connection and it name checks Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. So we're kind of coming full circle there, and that could be quite a powerful ending. Maybe not Elton's strongest melody on that one. As you know, I chose the bridge for my final track. I thought somebody might come up with Goodbye from Madman Across the Water. Actually, which is an incredibly depressing track, but it is kind of a final track, but nobody has suggested that. So really, thank you very much for that suggestion. And now I'm going to look at a few one-off ideas that people have come up with. Thanks very much to Ed McNamee, who suggested All the Time Aloud, with this refrain of thank you, thank you. And you can imagine Elton finishing with that as a thank you to his fans. Andy Turnstile said he wants to see I'm Still Standing. Well, so do I, Andy, thank you. Emily Ruth Ellis came up with Roy Rogers from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I love that song. Obviously, country influenced tribute to childhood and those wonderful programmes, and a great melody and harmony on that one. Leslie Ryder wants Your Song. Fair enough. Gregory Belmore, I like this choice, Gregory. He wants Bite Your Lip, Get Up and Dance. From Blue Moves, of course. That's a great song, isn't it? And you can imagine getting everybody on their feet for that one. Anissa Fox, she said they were all good songs I chose, but her list would be completely different. Well, fair enough. You want to send in your ideas? I'll have a look at those. Mamsie and Cooney wanted Daniel. We know that's a great choice. Stephanie Muggeridge wanted, now I had to look this one up, I'm Gonna Love Me Again. Now, where does that song come from? Well, it comes from the closing credits of the Rocket Man film. Now, I must have sat through those because I remember going to see that, but it hadn't really registered with me that that was an original song, especially written for the film. So I've got to listen to that again before I can give my view on it. But it's a catchy tune that involves them looking back over their songwriting history. So good choice, Stephanie, on that one. Gary Mancuso wanted the entire contents of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road playing by Elton. Well, that wouldn't leave much space for anything else, but he also wanted Leave On, great song, Tiny Dancer, Your Song, Don't Let the Sun Go Down, and Someone Saved My Life. So I'd go to that concert. Yeah, definitely. Josh Phillips wanted the show to end with Curtains. Yeah, I think that would be a really moving finish, wouldn't it? Barbara Biondi wanted Harmony. Well, that was in my selection of fantasy songs. Patty Cavello wanted to hear Bitter Fingers. That's, of course, for Captain Fantastic. Harmony, yes. Teacher, I Need You. I love that song from Don't Shoot Me. It's such a fun song, that. Tower of Babel. I'm afraid that's not one of my favourites, but I can understand that a lot of people like that one. And then she had An Empty Garden. That could go well live. A tribute to John Lennon. And Blue Eyes. And she says that she's seen Elton John 12 times. Well, much more than me, Patty. So that's fantastic. I've only been to 3 concerts. Not very good, really, is it? Bob Lawson suggested Your Song. Fair enough. James Accardo, Empty Garden. That's getting some popular support. Betty Cleveland said, I was waiting to hear Mona Lisa's and Manhattan's in my list, but alas, it was not to be. Well, actually, it was, because that was in my selection. I love that song, Mona Lisa's and Manhattan's. And Stephen Lichtenwald wanted Goodbye Yellow Brick Road as Elton's final song. So many thanks for those. Now I've got 2 more full lists to go through that people have sent in, and I'm not saying this for my benefit, but I would say stick around for the next video because they're actually really inspired choices. So I don't want to have to rush through them. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. But stay tuned for part 2 of this video because there will be some surprises sent in by you. So subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, we're still standing. I almost forgot to mention the song which I've never heard before. And I'm grateful to Gelito, if I've pronounced the name correctly, for suggesting the track You Can Make History Young Again. Now I looked this up, and this was a song that Elton added to a Love Songs compilation that he brought out in 1996. Now this was completely off the radar for me. I looked it up on YouTube. There's a lovely video which goes along with this. This is a slow burning ballad that reminded me a little bit of Sacrifice. And it's a really accomplished song. If you don't know this one, look it up and see what you think. You Can Make History Young Again. Very soft, a little bit like Recover Your Soul, maybe, that sort of song as well from the Big Picture album. So many thanks for suggesting that one. I'm going to be listening to that a lot more in the future.